We'll pull an amber turd on you. Assalamu alaikum Habibati, and welcome to another Arab Man Reacts. Today we're reacting to petty revenge stories. If you know something about Arabs, very petty. We're very petty people. Passive aggressive a lot, and if someone so much as does the tiniest little thing to you, you'll hold a grudge for the next 300 years. Your families will take that grudge forward. We will never, ever let anything go. So I think it's going to be a little interesting to see sort of what other people around the world do and compare it to things that we've done. Before we get into the video, I just want to let you guys know how you can support us. If you don't want to listen to me do that, you can just skip straight to the video. So the first way you can support us is obviously by liking, commenting, subscribing to this channel, Arab Man Reacts. The second way you can do that is by visiting our other channel. It's called Popsly Studios. It's the space that we use to film AMR, and we do a whole bunch of other videos. Lastly, you can join us on Patreon, where you get a bunch of cool perks and you get to hang out with us. Now to the video. Alright, so all of these are from Reddit. I'm just going to start off with the first one. I let my flatmate's annoying girlfriend drink cacao. Is that how you say it? Cocoa? With cockroach larvae. This was about 5 years ago. I used to live in a huge apartment with my boyfriend and his friend. The friend was single when we moved in, but soon got together with this girl. Let's call her Jessica. Okay, Jessica. Our flatmate was super nice, but Jessica was something else. Soon she was staying at our place 24/7. They had their own bathroom, but I would still see her going into mine and my boyfriend's and take everything from my shampoo, conditioner, deodorant, all without asking. So she's a leech. We call them Joes here, so we'll call her a Joe. When I confronted her, she said it's because she has all of her stuff at her place. She kept doing it thinking I don't see. She would also eat our food, never replacing it or even telling us that she ate it. I was once preparing dessert with pineapple that I just bought for that occasion. Turns out that she ate more than half of my pineapple. Jessica and her boyfriend would blast music, have sex in the living room on the couch after continuously being asked to stop and have loud and violent fights among each other. Classic Joe. Classic Joe. It's just what Arabs call this kind of person. We call them Joes. Anyway, I was fed up with Jessica. Around that time, me and my boyfriend were discussing how to diplomatically tell our flatmate that he and Jessica need to move out. Juicy. Anyway, one morning before going to work, I'm in the kitchen making coffee. I'm cleaning up a bit and I find a really old packaging of cocoa powder, cacao. I open it up and I'm like, oh shit, there's cockroach larvae in this. What does cockroach larvae even look like? Ugh, maggots. Are those maggots? What do you call those? I open it up and I'm like, oh shit, there's cockroach larvae in this. Thinking I will take it straight to the trash on my way out, I just leave it on the kitchen counter. Meanwhile, Jessica wakes up and comes to the kitchen. She doesn't even say good morning. She just goes like, oh, look, cacao. I love it. I'm about to turn around and tell her not to drink that when I see her taking my oat milk out of the fridge. In that moment, I decide to say nothing, thinking it will be disappointing enough when she warms up her milk and she wants to put the cacao powder in the mug. But to my surprise, she doesn't notice the larva, so I'm looking at her happily scooping the cacao to her mug and pouring my oat milk over it. And yes, she drinks it, and I'm in complete disbelief. I left to work that day smiling. Glad to hear you're all enjoying the story. I just wanted to emphasize this happened 5 years ago. I see lots of people saying to tell her or kick them out. I never told her, but soon after this incident, Jessica and her boyfriend announced they're moving across the country for her work, so the problem actually solved it. How does this person have a job? Haven't heard from either of them since. Good. This is good. But yeah, we do far worse things. Like, we'll pull an amber turd on you. We'll do things like that. We'll go crazy. On a scale of 1 to 10 in Arab pettiness, this is probably like a 2. It's alright. It's not the biggest thing. You can't smoke inside here. I have asthma, and we had a new boss who's new to the country and to our union. She's also a heavy southern US smoker. Crew kept asking her to please stop smoking inside. There's laws against that here. She refused and ended up being kind of a jerk about it. You know where it's not allowed to smoke in our country? In the parliament building. You know what happens in the parliament building? The parliament members just smoke their cigarettes all day. What are they going to do? Arrest me? Ha! Puff. I like this person. She had a new second-in-command type who knew she wasn't supposed to smoke but wouldn't stop her from doing it. The second-in-command was worse than her and would frankly go out of her way to do boss dirty work in the rudest way possible. Together they were awful. You always have that. The dynamic duo. The Batman and Robin of shit people. I didn't say much to anyone about this and kind of made a log of incidents. One day, there's a big public disagreement between the boss and the second in command. Uh-oh. Disagreements aren't uncommon in my industry. You might sulk on them, but you have to work together so you get over them quick. This, however, was exceptional. Names were called, shouting occurred, and was unprofessional by every metric. Watching this unfold was uncomfortable for everyone, but for me today was a gift. Today is the day I alert the health regulators and the union. The union, by default, has to tell the parent company that one of their people is defiant and breaking local laws and it's harming their members. This is Arab. This is an Arab thing to do. Now, this grown-ass woman had to be fined or visit health and labor officials to basically get a lesson about the dangers of smoking and why her secondhand smoke is dangerous to others. Think like what an elementary school might want to do if they catch a kid smoking. The fine wasn't even that big, $250-ish. She was going to say, screw it, that sucks, but the cost of doing business instead, the union, the parent company, blah, 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 blah. The best was the fallout of this. Boss lady was pissed. No one suspected me of alerting anyone. You got away with it. Yes, boss blamed her second in command because of their fight. The rest of the crew thought it was second in command too. After a few months, I went on to another project after the job could sustain itself without me. But last I heard, the two refused to work together again. Very well played, very well done. This is definitely an Arab thing. This is definitely something we would do. You know, we would, oh, this is the perfect opportunity to ruin this person's life. And then we would make that call and we would make sure that you got in trouble, and 9 out of 10 times you get away with it. And since that's the case, this one gets an 8 out of 10. I don't know why I said that. I made my bully scream in class. So there was this kid in my class who bullied me for no good reason, almost every day without failure. For things such as having a friend the opposite gender, he did too. And would bully me for other things too, such as my hair, looks, or just me being quiet. It was actually getting quite physical, with him pushing me while I'm at my locker, in a class, etc. So eventually I came up with a plan. I decided that revenge was best served slow cooked. So from then on, for at least a month or two, I would lock his locker. This was easy since he was right next to mine. Sometimes backwards, flawlessly, he would never notice. What helped was the fact that teachers had a reputation for locking unlocked lockers backwards, so there was my alibi. Eventually, I would hear him talk about it in class. I knew it was getting to him. Then one day, it was the last straw from him. He walked into class yelling, "Who the F keeps talking my locker?" And I just watched with a massive grin on my face. I've got other stories about that kid. The other kid sent me photos. So this is on a scale of 1 to 10, this is a -3. Let me tell you how to handle this thing the Arab way. You got 2 ways to go about it. The first thing is you go tell your dad. You tell your dad, this kid is bullying me. And then your dad goes down to school and beats the other kid. And once the other kid gets beat up, their dad comes in, and who's ever got the bigger dad, once they fight, you find out who the winner is, you become the new bully. Simple rules. The second way to do this is obviously call your cousins, right? Make all your cousins show up after school, kid comes out of class, you beat the kid up, and there you go. You're golden. Now you're the hero for the next 3 months until someone does that to you, vice versa. You might think I'm exaggerating, but that's just how we do things. It's part of the culture. We're in high school and one of my girlfriends had been talking to this guy no one in our group had met. One day she asked if we want to go with her to hang out at his apartment. Already red flag for a bunch of 17-year-old girls, but we go anyway. When we get there, his own apartment? Why are you going? When we get there, we see that this dude is well into his 20s. If I'm being honest, he looked older than wow. At the time, young and dumb. We told her he was a creep. He definitely is a creep. She still talked to this guy. Anyway, we got there and we're all on the balcony smoking a cigarette. Why are you guys smoking if you're under 17? The dude says he has to make a phone call inside. He's letting kids smoke? Oh. While he's inside, we find composition notebook under one of the chairs and my friend opens it up and starts reading out of curiosity. It was a smash book. A smash book? What's a smash book? A book of people you've smashed? Detailed entries of every sexual encounter he's had. No way, take pictures. Not only the description, but he was saying horrible things about these girls. Ranking, age, caliber of experience, and his intentions with a person beyond the encounters like, ew, and dump. Young, stupid, and submissive. We all disgusted. What a horrible person. We put the book back before we got to the end to see if he had her in the book. She also didn't want to know. He's still in his bedroom on the phone with the door closed. When we go back in, my friend is pissed. She knew he drank coffee all day, every day. So she beelined it to the fridge, grabbed his creamer, and hucked a giant snot spitball right into it. Then we passed it around the group. She put it back on the fridge, and we just walked out of the apartment and got our friend to pick us up down the street. She still hung out with this guy afterwards and watched him finish the entire bottle of creamer. He definitely deserved the rest. So there's no reason for you to go out with a person like that, right? If it was up to us, if this happened to us when we were 17, dude, we would take that book first and foremost, right? And we would literally confront the guy with it, and probably a mashkal would happen. We just get up and we're drilling in monsters and we just fight. I remember this, we were kids once, and we actually got in a fight with the kids that were so much older than us, like university kids, and we had a mashkal. We always have mashkals. Anything that happens, you're going to have a mashkal. So in a situation like that, that definitely would have happened. Our egos are too big, stupidly. admittedly stupidly, that we'll literally confront this guy, beat him up, he'll beat us up, we don't know, but we would have gone out of that house with that notebook and ruined his life. We'd go to his office, we'd go to his parents, we'd go to his family. We would ruin this person's reputation for just being that much of a terrible human being and writing about this stuff. That's it for this video. Let me know if you guys like this kind of stuff and we'll do more of it. I'm gonna leave a comment pinned below so you can reply to it with like links to things that you think you want us to react to, and we'll basically put them in a video and do that. We're trying out something new. Let us know what you think. Like, follow, share, comment, and support our other channel. And if you want to join us on Patreon, you can do that. The link is in the description below. Enjoy the rest of your day. بحبكن كتير. سلامات.